mean this. You ain't down. And you ain't a loser. You're just a jealous, lazy bum.
Look at this! The first thing... Right, we paid the man anyway when we fired him. Good morning. It's Uncle Lou here. How's everyone doing? I'm sure you're doing great. I'm doing good too, and I really appreciate you asking. Thank you. It shows concern and that you care. Thank you. Of course, I care about you too. All right, here it is. Uncle Lou's huge, super important UGA quarterback spectacular preview and prediction. Now, a disclaimer here. Sad that I still have to do this after all this time. Uncle Lou videos are opinion videos, okay? This is for entertainment purposes only. Yep, as usual, the complaint department is located right down there. No matter where you're watching this, if it's on YouTube or Facebook or wherever else, what you're watching this, complaint department right down there. So not down there, but down there, the comments section. And so keep that in mind. All right, UGA quarterback situation: Grayson Lambert versus Jacob Eason. I'm not including Bryce Ramsey in this conversation because it's the opinion of yours truly, Uncle Lou, that he's no longer in consideration for the starting quarterback position or really any playing time at quarterback at all. I'm of the opinion that it's a two-man race between Grayson Lambert and Jacob Eason. My reasoning or thought process for that is pretty simple. Bryce Ramsey has basically the same amount of playing experience, college playing experience that Jacob Eason has, and Jacob Eason has twice the talent. So I don't see any benefit at all to playing Bryce Ramsey. He has little to no playing time at all. The playing time he has had has not been impressive at all. So he's got very little experience, and it's obvious he does not have the pure talent that Jacob Eason has. So absolutely no reason to play Bryce Ramsey at all. So that's out of the way. Now, Grayson Lambert versus Jacob Eason. I'll start with Grayson Lambert. Normally, when you have a returning quarterback coming back from a team, especially a 10-win team, you don't even have this discussion going into game number 1 the next year. Unfortunately for UGA, we do. Everyone knows the reasons why. I'm not going to get into it. Grayson Lambert underperformed, underwhelmed last year in the opinion of most people. Other than the South Carolina game, he was a way below average quarterback, in my opinion. Does not have SEC level talent, and you could argue does not have Division I talent. Just my opinion. But anyway, normally when you have a returning quarterback going up against an incoming freshman, that returning quarterback has 2 built-in advantages. Number 1, experience. Well, Grayson Lambert does have that. He does have experience. He's got experience at Virginia, and he's got 1 year under his belt at UGA facing SEC defenses. So in terms of experience, advantage Grayson Lambert. The second advantage that a returning quarterback normally has over an incoming freshman would be knowing the plays, the playbook, the play calls, things like that. Well, that advantage doesn't exist in this situation because of the complete overhaul of the coaching staff from the top down, from head coach, both coordinators, assistant coaches, all but 1 or 2 people from last year's staff are gone. So any advantage that Lambert would have there is out the window. So the only advantage Lambert has going in is the experience. Now, from a talent standpoint, there's no comparison. Jacob Eason has 10 times the talent that Grayson Lambert will ever have. It's not a knock on Grayson Lambert. That's reality. If you've seen practice video, if you were at the spring game, if you know anything at all, if you've been paying any attention at all over the last 8 months, then this is not even up for debate. Pure talent level, Jacob Eason is miles ahead of anybody else on the team. It's that simple. Now, who should start? Should one play? Should both play? How should that work? Now, I'm on record. I'm of the belief, throw Eason in there from snap number one and let him play the entire season. That's what I want to happen. I'll get to what I think is actually going to happen here in a bit. Why do I want that? Well, if you're one of these people that is okay with another 9, even possibly 10-win season, but meaningless season, in other words, no SEC East title, no SEC title, then I can understand that logic. It is possible we win 8, 9, even 10 games with Grayson Lambert. I do think that's possible. We did it last year. I don't see how we'll be any worse than last year, although our schedule is a little more difficult this year. I think we have one more difficult game this year, in my opinion, than what we had last year. So if you're okay with that, then I can understand being okay with going with Grayson Lambert. I'm not okay with that. I would rather go 7-5 with Jacob Eason learning the ropes and taking his lumps this year than to go 8-4 or 9-3 with Grayson Lambert, and then we're right back in the same boat next year with an inexperienced Jacob Eason battling an incoming Jake Fromm for the starting quarterback position. Could Eason, if we play and start Eason from game one, could we win the SEC or the SEC East? I don't know. Maybe. I'll admit it's not likely this year for a variety of reasons. But it's definitely possible. If we play and start Grayson Lambert from game one, could we win the SEC or the SEC East? No. We won't and can't. I'm sorry. If we go down 10, 14 points in a game with Grayson Lambert as quarterback, it's game over. Grayson Lambert is not throwing you back into a game. It's not happening. We saw that last year. It'll be a series of 3-and-outs if that happens. People like to bring up the fact that Grayson Lambert only had 2 interceptions last year. Hey, that's great. There's a reason for that. If it's 3rd and 8 and you're throwing a 2-yard out route to a receiver whose defensive back is giving him a 6-yard cushion because it's 3rd and 8, well, you're not likely to throw very many interceptions in that scenario. You're also not likely to get very many first downs on 3rd and 8, which is what happened to us last year. So, yeah, he didn't have very many interceptions. There's a reason for that. He didn't throw very many 15-yard crossing routes either because he doesn't have the ability. He can't throw an 8-yard out route, much less a 15-yard crossing route over the middle. He just doesn't have the ability to do it. And I'm just of the opinion that the way our schedule sets up this year, I do not think we can win the East with Grayson Lambert as quarterback, and for that reason, I'm of the opinion that we should start and go with Jacob Eason from game one for the entirety of the season. What do I think is actually going to happen? I think it's 50-50 right now. I think Grayson Lambert could start game one, or I think Jacob Eason could start game one. I do think that no matter what happens game one, Jacob Eason will play and play a lot. Even if Lambert starts, I think Eason comes in at a predetermined time, 2nd series, 3rd series, 4th series, whatever it is. I think he comes in at a predetermined time. If he's hot and getting the job done, I think he stays in, and the quarterback problem is solved for the rest of the year, or at least the quarterback argument and debate. It'll be Eason from that point forward. If for some reason things don't go well in the first game, or Lambert plays the whole game, or Eason just plays sparingly, I think Jacob Eason should play whistle to whistle in game 2 against Nicholls State. There's absolutely no reason for Grayson Lambert to play against Nicholls State. We know what he can do and what he can't do. There's no benefit, there's nothing to learn at all from playing Grayson Lambert against Nicholls State in week 2. Jacob Eason should play every single snap of week 2 against Nicholls State. I don't care if we're winning 100-0. And he should throw the ball at least 40 or 50 times in that game, in my opinion. Anyway, that's my honest, objective, non-yelling and screaming opinion of the quarterback situation for this year, what I want to happen and what I think is going to happen. And I'll end with this. Regardless of what Kirby Smart decides to do, I am not going to argue it or bash it heading into next week's game. Whatever he decides to do, UNCLELOU's on board with it. I'm behind him 100%. Now, of course, after the game, I'm gonna give my thoughts and opinions, good, bad, or indifferent. That's just the way it is. But I'm not going to bash him heading into the game. If they announce tomorrow that Grayson Lambert is the starter, then so be it. I'll roll with that, and I'll be on board. Anyway, y'all take it easy. Have a great day and a good morning if you can.